Eternals is the latest Marvel Studios film directed by Chloe Zhao, who took one of the biggest dubs during the 2021 Oscars this year of Best Director, and she's brought it to the MCU. It's funny when you think about it. A Marvel movie with King Robb Stark and Jon Snow gushing over a woman named Cersei. That's a real Name of Thrones. I'll see myself out. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hez Project. I'm John Ortolaza, and today we're reviewing the brand new Marvel film Eternals, directed by Chloe Zhao. And yeah, like I mentioned, she does have some pretty big accolades now. She's won Best Director. I don't remember if it won Best Picture either. I don't know. I just remember her winning Best Director, and that's also a big thing in the Oscars. Like, directors are the movie. They're the ones who bring it together, and they're the ones who craft the film. I'll be honest, I was this close at times to watch Nomadland. I just never got around to it. That's what I'm gonna say. But I was really excited to see her film because I was hearing a lot of good things about her Nomadland and her other work and how she's got her way with certain things in the Marvel films that you don't really see in Marvel films these days, like filming on location, getting that really dope midnight lighting or the sunrise lighting, whatever you want to call it. I liked all of that in this movie, and I was looking forward to it because I had seen trailers for Nomadland and it looked beautiful. And this movie looks beautiful. Let me tell you that. It looks really good. Some of the best cinematography across all of the Marvel films, hands down. Chloe Zhao and the cinematographers were able to capture the scope of this beyond life-like, beyond worldly experience of a film, and they really did capture the feel of this movie centering around these immortal beings known as the Eternals. And Angelina Jolie and Salma Hayek, because they are real-life Eternals. I mean, my God. Cinematography was great, but also the score, man. Like, this is really good stuff. It's not my favorite score, honestly, because I'd be humming to it up by now. The music isn't as incredibly memorable as I'd love it to be, as other Marvel stuff is. I'm not saying it's bad. No. I still really did like the music in here. It aided to the scenes very well, and I just loved it. I gotta look up who the composer was, because he did a phenomenal job, or she did a phenomenal job. Let's dive into the characters next, the Eternals and some of the other ones. Jon Snow, or Kit Harington, who plays Dane Whitman in this film, is not as prevalent as I thought he was going to be. He's really just in and out of a few scenes to set up a couple of things that happen in the movie, and then pretty much he's not really a focal point. So don't get super attached, God fans. Jon Snow will return, and I definitely think we're gonna see more of Kit Harington in the future of Marvel films. I mean, come on, it's Kit Harington. Like, you bring him in for one movie where he shows up for like 5-10 minutes tops. Nah, he's coming back. Now into the Eternals. I don't remember all of their names, and I don't know all the actors' names, so bear with me. Richard Madden as Icarus. I thought he was a fine character. I did enjoy him whenever he was on screen kicking ass. There was an issue I had with him in which he just didn't really have a whole lot of personality, and we'll get into that when I touch upon the story and other characters. There was just some bits lacking that I would have preferred to see more of in his character, but up until a point, he did get a little more interesting, and I got to have a little bit of motivation for him, and I got to grab onto something rather than just like watch him be Superman. He is Superman, actually, because DC doesn't even want a Superman. They got the friggin' CW one, which, hey, he's not bad. Don't worry, I'm not trashing on him. He's not bad, but I mean, Henry Cavill's right there. While some people might have thought Richard Madden and Kit Harington's introduction into the Marvel Cinematic Universe was the big talking point, I personally thought it was going to be Angelina Jolie and Salma Hayek. Two actresses in which I haven't seen a whole lot of their movies, honestly. I've seen Salma Hayek show up in some Adam Sandler films. And maybe I've seen one Angelina Jolie film. I just haven't seen any of them, I'm sorry. But I know them as these beyond lifelike actresses, the beings, and they kind of fit the mold of what I was hearing about this film. So I was like, all right, those are good choices, but they don't do a whole lot, to be quite honest. They don't. I really do like Salma Hayek's character and her placement in the film and how they utilize her character. That's really cool. I feel like Angelina was like sidelined just a little bit. Just a little bit, because she has her cool moments, she has her shining moments, don't get me wrong, like there's some really badass moments that I really enjoy seeing freaking Angelina Jolie mesh with the Marvel formula. That was really cool, but yeah, there's 10 Eternals, and a lot of them get silent a little bit. She did have a plot point, don't get me wrong, she did, but yeah, I would have liked to see a little bit more out of her specifically. Out of all the other ones, they didn't really intrigue me as much as Angelina Jolie's character, Thena. I just want to see more of her. Can you blame me? Brian Tyree Henry and Kumail Nanjiani? I'm just gonna call him Kumail, because it's a blessing that I know how to say his first name. Those two brought the comic relief, and I think they both did a fantastic job. They both had me laughing. It was just really fun to see them to interact with the other serious and stoic Eternals, because pretty much all the other ones are. Like, they do have little bits of personality, I'm not gonna lie, but they, you know, for the most part, they're pretty stoic. They're pretty just like, you know. Sprite was honestly not my favorite character. The other ones, I can't remember their names, but they were pretty cool. Sprite was probably my least favorite one, because this person's supposed to be an adult inside of a kid body, but she doesn't act like that. She was acting like a kid the whole time, not an adult trapped in a kid's body, so it was just weird. Gemma Chan is, I would probably say, like the leader of the Eternals for the most part of the film, and I really liked her. I bought into her as a leader. I bought into her as someone who really cared about the humanity side of things while also the Eternals. And I really liked her when I first got introduced to her in Crazy Rich Asians. And in here, it's her, but amplified. She brings it, dude. Like, she is the emotional core, I would say, to the entire movie. Let's talk about the emotion real quick and how that relates to the other characters and the overall story. They are beyond lifelike beings. They are immortals, and we are introduced to them as such. I can understand not grasping onto these types of characters and not feeling any emotion or any personal connection to them, because they're not us, and it's weird, right? It's very weird. There are moments in this movie where they ask you to blindly follow them and understand them, but really, as an observer from afar, you just see this godlike presence. But I also think they did tell a pretty decent and compelling story about humanity, and there's different hierarchies with the Eternals, and then the humans are just, they're just humans. And then there's even beings beyond the Eternals that, like, we thought these were it. Like, it's just crazy to me. I was thinking these people were it, and no, there's just a whole nother world, a whole nother hierarchy of giant colossal beings that we just haven't been introduced to yet. We've been like teased at in previous Marvel films, but trust me, dude, this movie opens your eyes, opens your little nerdy brains to stuff you couldn't have imagined before. That is, if you haven't read comics. I would say, with all those concerns about the characters and them feeling super relatable, put those aside for a second. The acting is still top-notch. Everyone does a phenomenal job. They casted such a beautiful group and ensemble. Would I recommend this movie to you? If you are a Marvel fan, I would, because, you know, it's got that Marvel flavor to it. It has all the tropes, maybe not to that degree, but it still has that familiarity. You know, you're not gonna be lost and think, what is this? Is this a DC movie? No, trust me, you're gonna like it more than those. And if you're not a Marvel fan, I mean, I would still watch it, honestly, because I think personally it does, you know, shy away from that Marvel formula just enough to make it stand out, just as much as I think Winter Soldier did. I'm not saying it's as good or better than Winter Soldier. I don't think that. But in terms of escaping that formula and standing out and making yourself known to the wider audience, I think Eternals does that, and it's gonna catch people's eyes that normally don't watch Ant-Man and the Wasp. So those are my thoughts on the film. Let me know down below, what did you think? If you've gotten a chance to check it out, yeah, I know it just opened up opening night last night, and it's opening day today, so go to the theaters, check it out. It's a fun time. Like I said, it's got that Marvel familiarity, but it's also got something new that Marvel hasn't tapped yet, and I'm really excited to see them revisit this type of film again. Maybe not embrace it too much, but like the same amount that you did here. Anyways, guys, leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and be sure to stick around because there is always more to come.